Chief Cook.
How you doing?
How you doing?
Laughing.
It's funny, ain't it?
That just cracked me up. You're absolutely right about everything as usual. Good to see you again. Nice hairstyle thing, you know. Looking
Thank
cute.
you.
Good to see you again, Judge.
Question or statement?
Okay. Well, you're absolutely right about about the June 19th thing. It just don't make no sense about anything because it does not help anything with Black community whatsoever. Not one anything. No money, nothing, no proven education, no proven no jobs, anything help the Black man in the state in the state here. And it's just for a show and pony. So they can say when he run for re-election, I did something with Black people. That's the main thing for it.
Yeah, you know what? They gave gay reparations. They have Asian Protection Act. There's not one single act in the history of the United States that mentions the word colored, Negro, Black, Afro, or African American. There's one person named Martin Luther King, and that's his holiday. Now, they gave all of that to everybody else, and they want to give us what? The celebration of the embarrassment of being held in slavery a year and a half, 2 years, or 3 years longer than you were supposed to be.
What day? The 19th, right? The 19th, right?
It's June 19th. It was, we wouldn't celebrate. They did out in the country, but it was June 19th, 1866. The last 4 or 5 years, they've tried to clean it up by making it June 19th, 1865, so it wouldn't look like these sorry Negroes spent an extra year and a half enslaved when they weren't supposed to be.
And the crazy thing about this, a majority of the time, it falls on a Saturday.
And what the hell is to celebrate that your ignorant ass just found out you were free and you didn't run away to join the Union Army like a lot of your brothers did, or you didn't rise up in rebellion?
Some of them joined the Confederate Army.
Yeah, I mean, so what is that to celebrate that somebody told you were free? You didn't get free then. You just got told because this 13th Amendment had already passed a year before that ended slavery. The Emancipation Proclamation in 1863, which was 3 years and some months before, that effectively ended slavery. The end of the Civil War put paid on the bill. And you celebrating because your ignorant ass just found out you were free.
You're absolutely right.
That is ridiculous.
Absolutely.
If you want to make a holiday, damn it, why don't you make it when Tennessee ratified the damn 13th Amendment ending slavery?
Absolutely.
Oh, Kamala Harris did acknowledge that. She said in 6 months after June 19th of 1865, that's when the 13th Amendment was ratified.
Oh, asshole, don't even know a damn history. Got passed out in January 1865.
Oh, it got passed out before June 19th.
The states wound up signing it by that date, but the necessary one was Tennessee. And that was, God, the Civil War was over. Who the hell's going to enforce slavery now? There's no damn Confederate Army. Right. You got 1/3 of the Union Army of colored soldiers. Who's going to make somebody a slave? Nobody. Absolutely. So we celebrate. We find always free.
You had another question, Chief Cook?
Yeah. Also, you were talking about earlier about child support. And we need to change those laws in child support. But like you said, nobody gonna change the laws. Nobody, because the feminist movement and certain groups are not going. Certain judges are not going to change it because don't get that pay from that. And it also is a damn shame that we still got men paying child support. Kid don't even belong to them, even though the paper says DNA, everything, whole 9 yards. It's still not your baby, and he still making.
You have a problem with people paying child support?
No, I'm talking the ones who don't pay.
Yeah, I know what the chief's talking about. Like right here in Memphis, Shelby County, Tennessee. I remember one time I represented this guy who was a lieutenant on the police department, right? He'd been paying child support on his kid for 14 years. So he got a notice that there was a request for an increase. So he and I go down there to this miserable circus, they call it in Memphis and Shelby County, Tennessee here, the juvenile court. So when they call the child's name, I stand up, my client stands up, two other lawyers stand up, their two clients stand up. All three of these men have been paying child support on the same kid for 14 years. They wouldn't allow a DNA test, but we snuck one any damn way, and none of the three men were the father of the child. And they
how do you get three men paying for one child?
Yeah, and then the ass is down there at this jackass kangaroo court, didn't want to cut them off. They said, you've been paying it this long, you might as well keep it. We had to go up to the Court of Appeals to get it chopped off.
Because
did the men get their money back?
No. Because the judge keep always saying it's best interest for the child.
And the judge down there was a 6th grade dropout, the late unlamented jackass Kenneth Turner. He was a 6th grade dropout. The first time I saw that bastard in court was in 1974. I had 5 clients, and the asshole was calling everybody the N-word, including me, and I went off on his ass.
All right, thank you, Chief Cook.
Thank you.
I'm gonna put you on. You want to stay on hold or?
I got mute. I put myself mute.
All right, mute yourself. Thank you, BJ. He says, Judge, was CBS ran by gays and will Judge ever marry? And and he has 2 questions for you. And will you ever marry again?
If I can find a white woman, hell, being married.
White or right?
Oh, I said right. R-I-G-H-T.
Just checking.
I like them dark coffee, milk, chocolate, paper bag, brown, high pale, all kinds of things. Depends on what they got.
I think you're using that as an excuse because you can find any woman you want.
No, you can't find any woman. Hell, it's not that simple. I'm hard to get along with, so I need somebody that gets into what I'm getting into. A lot of women, I don't like politics. How you gonna deal with me? Hell, I'm a political animal. Why are you always worrying about helping somebody? Because that's me. If you can't get into it, you don't need to be with me. Well, how come you don't? Well, baby, you 90 pounds overweight. That ain't my style. You know, well, you got ugly feet, woman. I get turned off by ugly feet. I can't handle it. I got this thing about pretty feet. Or baby, your breast smells. You know, I'm sorry. Or you think like a fool. No. I mean, see, I know this. There are women, and I've run into a few, make me operate the reactor runs at 110% capacity. Some other ones, I got to put in all of the control rods and drop it down to 25% to be with them. And then it's a burden because they're boring after 10 minutes. But some of them will be exciting. They're good matches. And I know some women that are good matches. Some of them are good friends of mine. We get on each other's nerves after about 45 minutes, but we're good friends. So no, it's not just easy finding a mate. The more you are up toward the top of that pyramid, the fewer are up there with you. So they're harder to find because they're mixed around in this whole pyramid.
1 second. Chuck, I made you a moderator, honey, because you are good promoting for people to hit the like button and the call in. But please do not time out anybody if they're not being disrespectful. Don't time, and this is for all moderators, do not time out someone because you disagree with what they're saying. If they're not being disrespectful, do not time them out. Thank you.
Ideas are great. All ideas. They are subject to being debated, and sometimes a debate can clarify issues and reveal things that you had not thought about before.
Right. 410. Hi.
Hey, Dana. It's me.
Obi, honey, you're going to have to speak up. You sound a little muffled.
Oh, I'm sorry.
And guys, please hit the like button. Like.
I agree with what you're saying, Judge Joe Brown, on the women. Because me, I've never had a girlfriend and I'm 23 years old. And it's because, not because I don't want one, it's because I'm trying to just find the best. I want like a 10. So That's just my opinion. I mean, I won't settle for less.
Good
Well,
for you.
Yeah, but honey, there's no such thing as a 10.
Let me make a suggestion.
There is.
The women are ruthless. You can be ruthless because they got a saying, all's fair in love and war. If you got something to take the edge off, you can be more objective, and you'll find that it comes to you when you're not looking for it more quickly than when you are. So get the edge off. Find somebody that's a good fuck buddy.
I'm 6'2", over 200 pounds. I think I deserve I'm in grad school now. I'm 23.
Well, yeah, but what I'm just trying to say is get you a fuck buddy is the word, but screw buddy, whatever. So you just friends, and you screw to pass the time. She might need a good lay, you do, and meanwhile, that ain't your main woman. Find your main woman, and then the other, you and her, you friends, you can part. You might run into each other 20 years later.
What do you think about having like a few girlfriends when you're young? 2 or 3
Bunch
girlfriends.
Bunch of them. I had situations where I was screwing both women that were roommates. Sometimes both of them at the same time. That was fun.
Sounds cool.
Yeah, it was. They giggled about it.
What do you think?
Like Chief said.
No, you know what? Someone, Jake, just sent in a super chat and I had to report it. Don't play with me because I will black out, and I'm not trying to black out. So I reported you will not say anything regarding a child abuse, pornography. You will not do that. And if
you get into child pornography, you want sick SOB.
Right. So if you see Jake Newman or someone in the chat, please hide him from my channel because I reported that super chat. I'm not playing those games.
What did you say?
I don't. Sure. He was like, "I hope your grandkid is LGBTQ so I could play with them."
Oh, so, go get off of it, you sick parasite.
Right. So yeah, I'm not playing that, and YouTube is not playing that.
When I was on the bench, I'd use every excuse I could to justify locking up a sick SOB like that for as long as I could.
Right.
You was sick.
Did you get your question?
Anybody messes around with children is just sick.
Did you get your question answered, Obi?
Well, I had a question about my real question. I'm from Baltimore, and the crime rate is like extremely high and stuff, and they're just the crime. I mean, there's like the city isn't like livable, to be honest. I mean, like the places that we used to go when we were young to play around, hang out and stuff, like they're like just extremely violent now. Get like stabbed or raped or shot now. What do you?
That's like a manhood, son. That's like a manhood in the neighborhood. So you got these punks out there. They don't have man in them. Men don't allow their communities to be reduced to such states of chaos. That's just punk play.
So do you think we can do you think maybe the best thing is to maybe gentrify the city and put
No, it's not gentrifying. You don't cure the problem. Problem is we have to reverse this thing of trying to down manhood and put it back on the front burner so it gets out there. It ain't cool to be unmanly, but they think it's cool to be unmanly, to act like emotional. We used to look at cat fights. That's the women down on the sidewalk trying to do each other in and before we pull them apart. But you see, these boys are like their mamas and the mamas' neighbors having cat fights. They can't stand and punch it out going toe to toe. They got to do a drive-by because they got too much punk in them to take a fist beat or beat somebody with the fist unless there's 10 or 12 of them around so they can gang up on somebody. See, we don't have that manhood. Why? So why didn't you just punch it out with him instead of trying to do a drive-by on it? Yo, Judge, my face too pretty to be getting some marks on it. I say, yeah, because you a punk and you want the ladies to take care of you. You a drone and you think of yourself in a negative fashion instead of positively like men are supposed to do. See, we got to make this definitely uncool for this punk play stuff, this self-hate thing where they're trying to either get suicide by cop or suicide by neighbor. Always running around trying to kill somebody for nothing and scared to kill somebody when they need to.
I'm getting emails already on Chuck being the moderator, but thank you, Chuck. He said, I heard you loud and clear, Dana, respect queen. Yeah. I don't know what's going on in this. This is the love room for a reason. Don't come in the love room saying, if you're not being productive or being constructive or critical thinking or whatever, then don't type anything. Nia and Chuck, they're quick to time somebody out. I don't want emails from people saying he timed me out because of this. Just stop and hit the like button. All right. Thank you, Obi.
I just believe that it's better to, I guess, put a lot of these people in certain places where it's not, the crime isn't as destructive to, major parts of, big cities, major cities in America. So these cities are somewhat, livable and somewhat vibrant. I mean, Baltimore. The entire mesh of the city is just very, very unlivable, to be honest. So
it is.
But you know what, Obi? It's time for you to start traveling. You really need to remove from your environment, whether it's for a week or a month. You need to just start traveling, and if you never had a girlfriend, it's time for you to have a girlfriend. It's time for you to just at least have one so you could learn the experience of being in a relationship. It's not going to last because you're too young, but you need to have that experience and you need to travel. Stop worrying about the perfect person. There's no such thing. Now, you may not want someone below an 8. I get it. But at the same time, stop looking for perfection, because guess what? You're not perfect, but you need the experience of having a girlfriend. Go get one. You are attractive, smart young man. It's not hard.
Yeah. Also, may I make a point to any sisters that are listening? I can understand one accident, 2 maybe. But if you can't afford to take care of the first one, you can't afford to take care of the second one. Why you have another one and another one and another one, and you can't afford any of these babies? And you condemn them to a life of gloom, growing up in a cesspool where everybody's flat, broke, busted, trying to deal with survival mode, and everybody's getting vicious. That just does not make any sense to me. That's selfish.
Stay away from those, and that's a certain portion of women, not every woman, but
not
that is
everyone,
selfish.
but too many.
Thank you, Obi. I got to take other calls.
Okay.
And some of the boys they raise need man training badly.
Oh yeah, and it was
they don't raise.
It's also 10%. It's not a third. It's 10% of the Union Army was Black troops.
Okay, thank you.
It was 1/3 by 1865. 1/3 of the Union Army. Grant wrote that himself in his memoirs. You should read it sometimes. It's very good writing.
Thank you, Obi.
Samuel Clemens, aka Mark Twain, said he's one of the best writers he'd ever encountered. Grant could write, and he wrote about that. 1/3 of the Union Army was colored volunteers by the end of the Civil War. Not 1/10.